So hello, folks. It's Thursday, February 9th, 2023. Hope everybody's doing well enough. I know it's been about 2.5 weeks since I've done a video, but yeah, I've just been busy working and just been tired at times too. So yeah. Uh, but anyways, I'm going to do a video today here on the Freedom Convoy and 1 year later. I was there at the Freedom Convoy the first weekend that it started, which was the main weekend. And, at this time last year, it was still going on, because it went on for about 3 weeks, maybe 3.5 weeks before it ended kind of violently there with the police getting involved and, the Emergencies Act, being invoked. But, this is just kind of going to be my reflection on it 1 year later. I mean, now that I look back on it 1 year later, yes, it was necessary for it to happen, but it certainly didn't solve everything. And I'm a little bit disappointed that it didn't end up inspiring as many other Canadians either. Like a lot of other Canadians, even people I know that knew that this was wrong and that has been unhappy with what the government's done in recent years, even besides the lockdowns and the passports and everything like that. And it just didn't really end up sparking that fire in as much people as I thought it would, like motivating people to go out there and join the cause or join an activist group or join a political party like the PPC as well. And I was almost hoping that it would maybe bring more people into the fold of the PPC, even though I think the PPC, I liked all the COVID stuff and the lockdown stuff, but I mean, the PPC really missed a good opportunity to bring more people into the fold because a lot of the other platform is really good. Like a reason why I joined that party and I was involved in it, and this was before COVID back in 2019. I had volunteered during the first election in 2019 when the PPC came about. I like the other parts of the platform with like immigration, wanted to promote a Canadian culture and, their economic stuff as well. And, gun rights, to me, it's a pretty solid platform. And I just feel like there wasn't enough promotion of the other parts of the platform during that as well. So I feel like it would have been a good way to bring people into the PPC as well. I know that's a little off topic, but yeah. But overall, yeah, there was a real sense of connection between people again and fellow Canadians. Like I hadn't felt that kind of connection in those 4 days that I was there with my fellow Canadians probably since I was a little boy, like in my neighborhood, where it felt like there was that sense of community. It felt like there was that sense of being. There was that collective connection between people more again, which was a very nice feeling. And obviously, you don't want it to be like collectivism to the point where people are like praising an authoritarian government or or an authoritarian figure. But I mean, nowadays, I feel like our society is a little bit too individualistic. Like, I think that there needs to be a balance. You don't want it to be too individualistic, but you don't want it to be too collectivist either. And I think that we're missing some of that community and that sense of culture and just all that to really bring people together. That's just my thoughts on that as well. But the good thing is there haven't been any more lockdowns and restrictions or vax passports since the Freedom Convoy happened. So it definitely had some significance for sure, with ending that. But at the end of the day, I think things have calmed down for now. But I think sooner years to come, the government's going to try to do something else again to take away our rights and our freedoms. I mean, I just don't think anybody should completely trust any level of government or any politician, regardless of who they are at this point after, what's happened and everything. And, they might try to do something else like the central bank digital currency, which short form is CBDC. I mean, that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's really not. I mean, look at how things are going more and more cashless now. I mean, it's happening in the bigger cities. I mentioned this in my last video on artificial intelligence. Like it's going cashless where you can't use cash and you got to pay with the card. Guess what comes next after that? They're going to enact something like a facial AI recognition like they do in China. And all of a sudden, they take your face everywhere you go. You can't purchase anything without your face. Like it's heading in that very dystopian kind of direction. And, you know, you could call me a conspiracy theorist, but that's really the way it's heading. Yeah, if you look at it as well. And then there's these 15-minute smart cities as well, which is kind of scary. I saw a lady on Instagram, somebody I know sent me a video of her talking about this, and she showed like the layout that the government had posted on the internet and everything, and it's pretty scary. And apparently, Justin Trudeau had met with the premiers recently, and he had told them that basically if they don't comply with enacting this digital ID, which that's going to go along with you know, the 15-minute smart cities, basically that they're not going to give the provinces funding for healthcare, because yes, the provinces are you know, they have jurisdiction over healthcare, but most of the funding actually comes from the federal government in order, you know, to fund that. So, I mean, the federal government's still involved in healthcare in this country to a large degree. And, you know, these 15-minute cities are pretty scary. And with the digital ID, like it basically saying that you won't be able to access healthcare unless you have this digital ID. You won't be able to have a bank account or access your money or open new bank accounts. And the list just goes on. It's just really dystopian. I know for all of yous out there who don't really know much about this, I'm not an expert on it either. You could look into it for yourself, and it's really not a conspiracy theory. The government's talked about it. They've put it out there on the internet and for the public to see, and it's just really scary stuff overall. And yeah, so they're going to try something like that, or you know, with the rise of artificial intelligence coming now, you know, that could be used for bad, you know, by some of these people like Trudeau and some of the politicians to take away more of our rights and freedoms for sure, and to monitor us more and such as well. But that's about all I wanted to say here, folks. Is yeah, to sum it up, the Freedom Convoy did some good, but I was hoping it would have inspired more people in the end, and you know, push things further, and, you know, for there to be even more real change. But who knows, maybe that'll be coming in the future. But we'll just have to wait and see. But, you know, at the end of the day, one last thought here, too, is that as long as people still have food and some type of security and a job, like a lot of people did during COVID, not enough really people are going to fight back. That's just the way it is. Like, things will have to get a lot worse for people to really fight back and to really be concerned about the state of this country. But that's about all. Peace out.